Starting out this season, the Miami Heat did look like a team that could make the playoffs and even make somewhat of a playoff run. At the time of this recording, they're the number 10 seed with 41 wins and 37 losses, and for that reason, I have decided that today we are going to rebuild the Miami Heat and hopefully win them a championship. We have 4 games for the remainder of this season, and these 4 games are very important. They're going to decide whether we're going to make it to the playoffs or not. Let's take a look at our rotation. So in the starting lineup, we have ourselves Davion Mitchell, Tyler Herro, Norman Powell, Andrew Wiggins, and Bam Adebayo. And then off the bench, we have Jaime Jaquez Jr., Kel'el Ware, Kasparis, and Larson. And after those 3 wins, we are now the number 8 seed, which means we have a higher chance of making the playoffs. Well, we will be a play-in team, that's for sure, and we end this season as the number 7 seed. At the end of this season, Nikola Jokic goes on to win MVP, Cooper Flag Rookie of the Year, Jaime Jaquez Jr. wins 6th Man of the Year. Let's go. Victor Wembanyama Defensive Player, Buzelis Most Improved, Desmond Bane wins Clutch Player, Mark Coach of the Year, and the OKC Thunder also win Executive of the Year. For all NBA selections, it looks like we don't get anybody here, but we do land ourselves Bam Adebayo on an all-defensive second team. We did end the season being the number 7 seed, which means we are in the play-in tournament. We won a total of 45 games and losing 37. In the play-in tournament, we are going to be taking on the Toronto Raptors, who have themselves Emmanuel Quickley, RJ Barrett, Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes, and Jakob Poeltl. And now let's go ahead and jump into Simcast and see if we could defeat the Toronto Raptors and make the playoffs. We will have home court advantage on our side, and so far the Raptors do have the lead, but it is a close battle. We're up by 4, 2:30 remaining, and it looks like we go on to win 105-102. Bam Adebayo had a 38-point double-double, 21 from Herro and 13 from Jaime Jaquez Jr. And just like that, we have made it to the playoffs, and in the first round, we will be taking on the Boston Celtics, who have themselves Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Sam Hauser, Jason Tatum, and Nikola Vucevic, and this will be their bench unit. And if I'm being honest, I don't really think we're going to be able to defeat the Boston Celtics. They have a way better put-together team than we do. We do have some good offensive players like Herro, Norman Powell, and Bam Adebayo, but I'm not sure which out of these 3 is the number 1 scoring option. They basically take the same amount of shots, so I'm not sure who is going to lead the team going into the future. It may be Bam Adebayo or Tyler Herro. I guess that's something we're going to look into this off season. Now let's go ahead and start simulating here against the Celtics. Game number 1. Okay, so we do go on to win game 1, 130-125. Powell had 35, 22 from Wiggins. Let's see if we could also win game 2 here, and it looks like the Celtics do go on to win game 2, defeating us here by 20 points. Game number 3 does end up going to us. Okay, so we actually are playing pretty well here in the playoffs. We win game 3, 131-129. Norman Powell dropped 39 points, 23 from Bam Adebayo, and 22 from Wiggins. Before we simulate the next game, I would really appreciate it if y'all could drop a thumbs up on this video and subscribe if you haven't already. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and we're trying to hit it by the end of April. Now let's see if we could also win game 4 here, and it looks like we also going to win game 4, putting us up 3-1. Okay, so we win game 4, 135-122. Norman Powell dropping 41 points, and holy, he was averaging 35 points per game here in the playoffs. All we gotta do now is win 1 more game, and then we'll have made it to the second round of the playoffs. Let's see if we could win here, and it looks like game 5 will go to the Boston Celtics. They win here 125-117. Can we close it out here in game 6? And yes, we can. We end up eliminating the second seeded Boston Celtics here in game 6, where Norman Powell dropped 40 points, a 32-point double-double from Bam Adebayo. In the first round of the playoffs, Norman Powell was playing phenomenal, averaging 35 points per game. Bam was averaging 20. Let's see how Herro did. He was averaging 20, did kind of struggle, but I mean, he was not all that bad shooting from the 3-point line. Now in the second round of the playoffs, we will be taking on the New York Knicks, who have themselves Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, and Karl Anthony Towns. Alrighty, let's see how we do here in the first game up against the New York Knicks, and it looks like we go on to win game 1, winning this game 129-125. Tyler Herro dropped 32, a 25-point double-double from Bam Adebayo. Game number 2 will end up going to the New York Knicks. They blow us out here by 22 points. Herro had 26 and 22 from Powell. Game number 3 also goes to the New York Knicks. They win game 4, and it looks like we are eliminated here by the New York Knicks in the second round of the playoffs. The fact that we even made it to the second round of the playoffs and won one game against the New York Knicks and defeated the second seeded Boston Celtics shows there is hope with our team's future. And now let's go ahead and simulate past the playoffs and see which team goes on to win. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander winning Western Conference Finals MVP, Karl-Anthony Towns Eastern Conference Finals MVP. It looks like the New York Knicks go on to win a championship with Cat winning Finals MVP. We are here in the offseason and I have changed the player position for our team. Bam Adebayo will no longer be the starting center, he's going to be the brand new starting power forward. I believe Kel'el Ware will be ready by the next season to be the brand new starting center. He's an amazing rebounder, he can literally do everything we need him to, and I believe this will win us a lot more games. Now be ready for some trades this offseason. Our team has ended up with a 17th overall pick in the 2026 NBA draft, so let's see which player we will be drafting. Let's go ahead and see the top 3 picks. The Utah Jazz have the first overall pick and they go ahead and draft Darren Peterson. The Brooklyn Nets, let's see who they're going to be drafting. They take Cameron Boozer, and the Grizzlies have the 3rd overall pick and they take AJ DeBonsa. Now let's simulate to our pick and see which players we can select. I'm not sure which player we are going to be selecting here. We don't need ourselves a backup wing, but passing up on Nate Ament would not be a smart decision. He has a ceiling of an all-NBA player, Alex English. So honestly, I think we're going to go ahead and take him here. We could possibly use him as a backup wing, or if we don't need him, we could always trade him. He should have a high trade value. So we're going to go ahead and take Nate Ament with a 17th overall pick. And for team player options, it looks like Andrew Wiggins picks up his $30 million player option. We are of course going to pick up the team option on Kel'el Ware, Larson, and Jaime Jaquez Jr. Is there anyone we need to re-sign this offseason? And it looks like we don't, unless there is, or never mind, there's a huge free agency signing we have to do, and that is bringing back Norman Powell. And right now, Norman Powell does have 7 offers. The highest offer he has is from the San Antonio Spurs, a 4-year, $62 million contract. And obviously, I will be re-signing Norman Powell, but I'm not sure whether we're going to keep him or trade him this offseason and bring in a new starting small forward. But I'm going to go ahead and offer Norman Powell a 4-year deal where we pay him about $16 million annually. It looks like he will be accepting the contract on a 4-year, $71 million deal. We are also in need of a backup center. I am thinking about targeting Robert Williams III or Mitchell Robinson, and honestly I believe I'm going to target Robert Williams III. He wants less money than Mitchell Robinson, about $3 million annually. That's a minimum, so we could offer him a 2-year deal on a minimum, and he will most likely accept that, and yes he does, on a 2-year $4.8 million contract. Andrew Wiggins is maybe someone we will be flipping, so I'm going to change his position from power forward to small forward, where he does go up in overall, and I would like to run Jaime Jaquez at the small forward position for next season, and he goes up to an 80 overall. And this here is a trade that I love a lot for our team. The Atlanta Hawks are offering us Zachary Risacher and Dyson Daniels for Norman Powell and Andrew Wiggins. Seems like Risacher has been barely getting minutes with the Hawks rotation, so he's definitely someone that we could give minutes to and even have be a part of our starting lineup. Dyson Daniels is one of the best perimeter defenders, so we're going to be giving the Hawks Norman Powell and Andrew Wiggins for Risacher and Dyson Daniels. I will not be trading away Nate Ament, but I just want to show you guys his trade value. He has a 3.5-star trade value, which means he's definitely going to progress into a really great player, so he's definitely someone we gotta give playing minutes to this coming season. We are ready for this season with a brand new upgraded 9-man rotation. So in the starting lineup, we now have ourselves Dyson Daniels running as the starting point guard, Tyler Hero, Zachary Risacher, Bam Adebayo, and Kel'el Ware. And then off the bench, we have Jaime Jaquez Jr., Robert Williams III, Kasparis, and Nate Ament. And that does leave 2 players out of our rotation, Davion Mitchell and Larson. They're still 80 overall players, so they definitely could help other teams win some games, so we most likely will be flipping them by the trade deadline for some first-round picks. Now let's simulate the first week of this season to see how our brand new team does. We do have 4 games and we go on to win 3 out of those 4 games, defeating the San Antonio Spurs 132-130, where Kasparis had 28 points in 18 minutes, Hero with 26 and 21 from Kel'el Ware. And it looks like we did go on to defeat the Phoenix Suns 137-79. Our defense was phenomenal. Hero had himself 33 points, 24 from our brand new point guard Dyson Daniels, and a 19-point double-double from Kel'el Ware. So far, Risacher is averaging 14 points per game while shooting nearly 38% from the 3-point line. As of right now, we are rolling with a 4-star overall system proficiency, pace and space under Erik Spoelstra. And now I'm going to start simulating here until the end of this season. Well, actually, we do have to trade away Davion Mitchell and Larson, so I'll see you all at the trade deadline where hopefully we get back some first round picks. We are stopped here at the trade deadline, and currently our team is struggling with offense, and having Dyson Daniels and Bam Adebayo both in the starting lineup really does affect our 3-point shooting. So that's why we're going to try and move on from Dyson Daniels and bring in Immanuel Quickley, who this season is averaging 15 points per game on 50, 40, 80 shooting splits. We're going to offer the Raptors Dyson Daniels and Davion Mitchell. I will see if we could get ourselves a future first round pick from the Raptors. It looks like the Toronto Raptors will accept that trade. We are also going to be pulling off a trade with the Orlando Magic where we send them Larson. In return, we bring in Jordan Walsh to be the brand new backup wing, at least until Nate Ament progresses in overall, and we do also get ourselves a second round pick. We are stopped here at the contract extension day, and Bam Adebayo does want to sign a contract extension with our team, so we're going to go ahead and extend him for the next 2 seasons where we pay him about $32 million annually, and he goes on to happily accept. Looks like Tyler Hero does not want to sign a contract extension, which means he will be a free agent in this up and coming free agency. So at the end of this season, Victor Wembanyama goes on to win an MVP, Cameron Boozer Rookie of the Year, Jaden Ivey wins 6-man, Wemby also wins Defensive Player, Cooper Flag Most Improved, and whoa, Wemby won 3 awards this season. He won MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and now he also wins Clutch Player of the Year. Chris Finch Coach of the Year, and the Timberwolves also win Executive. Let's see if we get ourselves any All-NBA selections, which I hope we do, and it looks like we don't land ourselves any player on an All-NBA award. Do we get anyone on an All-Defensive team? And somehow we don't land ourselves either Kel'el Ware or Bam Adebayo, but that is alright. We ended this season once again as the number 7 seed, this time winning 42 games and losing 40. Somehow we ended this season even worse than we did last season. I'm not sure how that happened, but hopefully we are able to make a playoff push because our team definitely is playoff contenders in my opinion. So let's see if we could defeat the Indiana Pacers here in the play-in tournament to make the playoffs. We will have home court advantage on our side, and so far it's a close back and forth battle, and it looks like, whoa, we going to win coming back in the 4th quarter, 111 to 106. Let's go. Hero with 29. A 19-point double-double from Bam and 18 from Risacher. And I'm not gonna lie, I did think we were about to lose that game, but thankfully our players came in clutch in the 4th quarter. Now in the first round of the playoffs, we are going to be taking on the New York Knicks, the same team that eliminated us last year, and they have the same starting lineup: Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, and Karl Anthony Towns. Before we start simulating the playoffs, let me show you guys the player stats for the regular season. So our leading scorer was Tyler Hero, averaging 26 points per game, which is a career high for him while shooting nearly 40% from the 3-point line. 20 points per game from Bam Adebayo, 16 from Quickley. Quickley has been playing really well ever since we acquired him since the All-Star break. He's averaging nearly 19 points per game with 6 assists on 50, 40, 90 shooting splits. There has been a lot of ups and downs with Risacher. I believe there was a point he was shooting about 30% from the 3-point line, but thankfully he has turned things around and now he's shooting about 35% from 3. And now let's see how we do here in the first round of the playoffs. If we can defeat the New York Knicks, I do believe we have a chance at winning a championship. Game number 1 will go to us. We going to win 138 to 132. Hero dropping 43 and 31 from Quickley. Game number 2 also goes to us where we score 139 points. Hero dropping 37, 30 from Bam, and Robert Williams with 22 points in 18 minutes. Let's go. Game 3 does end up going to the New York Knicks. They win here 126 to 119. Hero had 28, 24 from Quickley. Game number 4 does go to us, and now we are up 3 to 1. Kel'el Ware leading the way here with a 20-point double-double. All we gotta do now is win one more game and then we'll have eliminated the New York Knicks. Let's jump into Simcast here where the Knicks will have home court advantage, and so far we do have the lead, close battle, and it looks like we will go on to eliminate the New York Knicks, winning here 112-98. Quickly led the way with 21 points, 19 from Hero and 13 from Kel'el Ware. In the second round of the playoffs, we are going to be taking on the Toronto Raptors, the same team we pulled off the massive trade with, sending them Dyson Daniels. Clearly the trade has helped out their team a ton. In their starting lineup, they have Dyson Daniels, RJ Barrett, Ingram, Scotty Barnes, and Colin Murray-Boyles, and this will be their bench unit. Let's see if we could get past the second round here. Game number 1 will go to the Toronto Raptors. They defeat us here by nearly 20 points. Game number 2 does end up going to us. Game 3 will also go to us, and we win game 4 now, putting us up 3-1. Hero dropped 28 points here in game 4, quickly with 24, and 22 from Ware. And we gentlemen sweep the Toronto Raptors, and no we cannot. They do end up defeating us here in game 5. We eliminate them in game 6, now making it to the conference finals. In game 6, Hero had 28 points and 18 from Quickly. And now in the Eastern Conference Finals, we will be taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers, and they have themselves James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Tyson, Evan Mobley, and Jarrett Allen. How has Hero been doing so far? He's playing absolutely amazing, averaging 31 points per game. Quickly is averaging 17.5, and Bam Adebayo is averaging 18. Tyler Hero is definitely going to be our franchise player that we continue building this team around, because he has been playing absolutely phenomenal. Now let's see how we do here in the Eastern Conference Finals. Game number 1 will go to us. And our leading scorer was Tyler Hero with 26 points, 24 from Kasparis. Game number 2 does end up going to us, and game 3 will go to the Cleveland Cavaliers. They win here 118-99. Can we go up 3-1? And yes, we can. Hero dropping 24 points, 19 from Bam, and a 17-point double-double from Kel'el Ware. And we do not go on to gentlemen sweep them, and we don't defeat them here. It looks like it will be going to a game 7. The Minnesota Timberwolves have defeated the Dallas Mavericks to make it to the NBA Finals, and now we are in a winner-go-home situation with the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavs will have home court advantage on their side. So far they do have the lead. Can we come back? Looks like we cannot. We go on to lose by 1 single point. Never mind, 3 points. Okay, so they defeated us here sadly by 3 points, eliminating us in game 7. Anthony Edwards, Western Conference Finals MVP, Donovan Mitchell, Eastern Conference Finals MVP. And that truly does suck, but I mean, we have been making progress from being a play-in team, making it all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. Pushing the Cavs to a game 7 is pretty impressive. And now in the NBA Finals, we have the Timberwolves taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. It looks like the Timberwolves will go on to win, with Anthony Edwards winning Finals MVP. Before we go into the offseason, let's go ahead and take a look at the player stats for the playoffs. So we played a total of 18 games, and in those 18 games, the leading scorer was Tyler Hero, who played absolutely phenomenal, averaging 29 points per game on 50, 40, 90 shooting splits. 18 and 10 from Bam Adebayo, 16 from Quickly, 14 from Ware, 12.5 from Risacher. And this offseason, Risacher is going to end up progressing even more in overall, which is only going to make our team better. I believe it's fair to say we are going to need to upgrade our head coaching position. So we're going to go ahead and fire Erik Spoelstra. He is a Miami Heat legend in head coaching, but it is time for us to move on. We're going to try bringing in somebody new like Joe Mazzulla or Jason Kidd. I'm going to go ahead and offer each of them a contract, and we'll see which one ends up accepting. And we bring Joe Mazzulla in as a brand new head coach. He brings championship experience, he's a good offensive coach and a great defensive coach, so he should be able to help out our team a ton. For team player options, we are going to be picking up the team option on Kel'el Ware, Zachary Risacher, and Kasparis. We will let Drew Smith walk. We don't really need him a part of this rotation. And qualifying offers, we do need to re-sign Jaime Jaquez Jr. this offseason. That should not be a problem at all. And whoa, we also need to re-sign Tyler Hero, and that completely slipped my mind. But we do have bird rights on all of these players, plus Jaime Jaquez Jr. is a restricted free agent. Of course, the main priority is going to be signing our franchise player, Tyler Herro. He wants about $44 million. I will give him a player option on the 5th year. We should be able to lower his money down just a little bit, and that's because he does not have a contract offer from any other team. So I'm going to offer him about $40 million annually, and I will also give Hami Hawkins a contract. I'm not sure if we're going to keep him or move on from him this offseason, but just in case we move on from him, I will higher the contract a little bit so we could bring some more money back in return. And it looks like Tyler Herro goes on to accept his contract on a 4-year, $179 million deal. Hami Hawkins Jr. accepts on a 4-year, $44 million contract. And after our 2 signings, we still have some money to sign a player like Max Christie. He's a really good 3-point shooter, he's a good perimeter defender, and we could have him be the backup small forward and then possibly move on from Hami Hawkins Jr. So as of right now, I'm going to go ahead and offer Max Christie a 4-year deal, and let's see if he accepts. And yes, he will, on a 4-year, $37 million contract. And now if we change Max Christie's position from shooting guard to small forward, he jumps up to 81 overall, which is huge. We are going to be pulling off a trade here with the Charlotte Hornets, sending them Hami Hawkins Jr., and we get back their 2028 unprotected 1st round pick. I did not make any more trades for the offseason, and that's because I believe this team has a chance at winning a championship. There was a lot of progression from the younger players like Reece Shea jumping up to an 84 overall and an 83 for Kasparis. So our starting lineup will be Immanuel Quickley, Tyler Herro, Reece Shea, Bam Adebayo, and Kel'el Ware. Then off the bench we have Kasparis, Nate Ament, Max Christie, and Robert Williams III. And Nate Ament is definitely another player that jumped up a ton in overall. I believe he went up 6 in overall if I'm not mistaken, so hopefully he plays well here in this season as well. And obviously we could pull off trades by the trade deadline if we need to. But let's go ahead and simulate the first week of the season to see how we do, and it looks like we go on to lose both games in the first week. We lost the first game here by 3 points against the Pistons. But I guess chemistry does need to be built since we do have some new players on this team. Let's go ahead and take a look at system proficiency. We also have a new head coach, which I completely forgot about. So we are going to be rolling with a 4-star overall system proficiency balanced under Joe Mazzulla. And now I'm going to start simulating here until the trade deadline, but if there's no trades to be made, I'll see you all at the end of this season. I've stopped here on January 1st, and this is a trade here that I was planning on doing in the off season, but I passed up on to see how our team would do, and honestly our team is not playing so well, so I am going to be trading away Kasparis, Nate Ament, and Nikola Jovic. Well, at least I'm going to attempt to trade them to the San Antonio Spurs for Devin Vassell, Carter Bryant, and Quincy Blake. Let's see what the Spurs say, and they do give us a counteroffer. They want to send us Sandro for a 2nd round pick. Consider that done. And after that trade, we are going to be running Tyler Herro at the point guard position. This is something I have been thinking about doing for quite some time now, and now we're finally going to do so. He will be the brand new starting point guard, and Vassell will be the brand new starting shooting guard. We are stopped here at the trade deadline, and the final trade we will be pulling off is with the Charlotte Hornets, where we send them Robert Williams III, Mamu, and a 2nd round pick for Ryan Kalkbrenner and Liam McNeely. Robert Williams III has been turning the ball over way too much, and that's the main reason we are trading him away. At the end of this season, Victor Wembanyama goes on to win a back-to-back MVP, Tyron Stokes Rookie of the Year, Brandon Pajemski 6-man, Wemby also wins Defensive Player, Boozer Most Improved, Wemby Clutch Player, Jason Kidd Coach of the Year, and the Mavericks also win Executive. Let's see if we get ourselves any All-NBA selections, and it looks like we don't land Tyler Herro somehow, even though he had himself a great season. And we do get ourselves Kel'el Ware on an all-defensive 2nd team. Let's go. This season, we were the number 1 seed, winning a total of 57 games and losing only 25. So clearly the trades we've pulled off have made our team a lot better than before, which is exactly what we wanted. Now let's take a look at the player stats for the regular season before we start simulating the playoffs. So our leading scorer was Tyler Herro, averaging 26 points per game, 5 assists on 50, 40, 90 shooting splits. He should have made All-NBA selection in my opinion. He played absolutely phenomenal. 20 points per game from Bam, 15 from Quickley, 15 from Reece Shea, and 15 from Kel'el Ware. In the first round of the playoffs, we will be taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers, and they have themselves James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Tyson, Evan Mobley, and Jarrett Allen. They were the number 9 seed. Let's see how things go here. Game number 1 goes to us. Bam dropping 30 and 12. Tyler Hero with 29 and 12. We also win game 2, and yes, we can. Hero goes off for 28 points and 23 from Vassell. We do end up losing game 3. We win game 4, and we gentlemen sweep the Cleveland Cavaliers, making it to the second round of the playoffs. And so far, Hero is averaging 34 points per game. Bam is averaging 21, Devin Vassell 13, and 18 from Risacher. And now in the second round of the playoffs, we are going to be taking on the Boston Celtics, and they have themselves Peyton Pritchard, Jaylen Brown, Dean Wade, Jason Tatum, and they got Alperen Sengun. Okay, but it looks like they no longer have themselves Derek White. Let's see how things go here. Game number 1 will go to the Celtics. They defeat us here by nearly 20 points. Game number 2 does end up going to us. We win here 119 to 111. Hero dropped 28 and 24 from Risacher. We do go on to lose game 3, 141 to 119. Okay, so this Celtics team is really good. What I am going to do is come up with a defensive coach game plan, and then we'll advance to game 4. Alrighty, I have now come up with the defensive coach game plan. Let's jump into Simcast and see if we could tie up the series. The Celtics will have a home court advantage, and so far they do have the lead, and it looks like we go on to lose 134 to 127. Hero with 33, 21 from Quickly, 18 and 11 from Bam. We are down 3 to 1. Can we come back from this? It's definitely possible. Let's jump into Simcast here where we do have home court advantage. And so far, we do have the lead. Can we keep it as a question? We're up by 10, 4 minutes remaining. They are pushing back here, but it looks like we go on to win by 5 points. Hero had 35, 22 from Bam, and 18 from Quickly. And something I noticed, Devin Vassell has been struggling here offensively, so I will be pushing him to the bench unit for Immanuel Quickley. I think we're going to go run with the same lineup we had before, and see if this will make us a little bit better. I mean, we did win the last game, but that does not change the fact that Devin Vassell has been struggling offensively. Let's jump into Simcast here and see if we could tie up the series. The Celtics do have home court advantage. And so far, we do have the lead. We are up by about 10 points. They are starting to push back here a little bit in the fourth quarter. 1:30 remaining. We still have the lead, and we go on to win by 3 points. Let's go. Hero dropping a 26-point double-double, 20 from Quickly and 20 from Vassell. We are now in a winner-go-home situation. Time for game 7, and we will have home court advantage here. Hopefully we're able to go out there and get this win. So far the Celtics do have the lead, and now it's a close battle. 8 minutes remaining. Can we come back here in the fourth quarter? And it looks like we do take the lead from the Celtics. We are up 105 to 101. 2 minutes remaining. We are up by 6 points. Let's see if we could keep this lead. And it looks like we will be winning this game 123 to 116. Let's go. Tyler Hero dropping a 25-point double-double, 21 from Vassell and 19 from Bam. And I'm not gonna lie, that was a really close series. We were down 3 to 1, but thankfully we were able to come back. And now we're going to be taking on the Toronto Raptors in the Eastern Conference Finals. They have themselves Dyson Daniels, Davion Mitchell, Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes, and Colin Murray-Boyles. Let's see how things go here. Game number 1 will go to us. 34 from Hero, 24 from Vassell. Vassell has been doing a lot better since we pushed him to the bench unit, which is really good for us because we do need a scorer off the bench. We also end up winning game 2 and Hero dropping 42 points, 27 from Risacher. Game number 3 does end up going to the Raptors, and so does game number 4. They win here 120 to 96. Let's jump into Simcast and see if we could go up 3 to 2. We will have home court advantage on our side, and so far the Raptors do have the lead, and it looks like we will be losing 119 to 108. Hero had 26, 19 from Bam, and now what I'm going to do is come up with a defensive coach game plan. Alrighty, I have now come up with the defensive coach game plan. Let's see if we could tie up the series here. The Raptors do have home court advantage, and so far we do have the lead by quite a bit. We're up by about 15 points, and it looks like we will be winning this game 153 to 135. Hero dropped 43 points, 21 from Risacher and 20 from Kel'el Ware. Looks like the Mavericks have already made the NBA Finals, and once again, we are in a winner-go-home situation. We have to win here in order for us to make the NBA Finals, and thankfully we do have home court advantage on our side. So far we do have the lead. We are up by about 15 points, 7 minutes remaining, and hopefully we could keep this lead, and it looks like we will be going to the NBA Finals. We go on to win 160 to 132. Quickly dropped 31 points, 29 from Hero, and a 23-point double-double from Kel'el Ware. Nikola Jokic winning Western Conference Finals MVP, Tyler Hero Eastern Conference Finals MVP. And it looks like Jokic joined the Dallas Mavericks with Cooper Flagg. That is insane. Now they have themselves Darius Akuff, Zach LaVine, Cooper Flagg, PJ Washington, and Nikola Jokic. They were the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. Game number 1 does go to the Mavericks, and I'm not even going to risk it. What I will be doing right away is coming up with a defensive coach game plan. We have come up with the defensive coach game plan. Let's jump into Simcast and see how we do. The Mavericks will have home court advantage, and so far we do have the lead, but they take it right back and they go on to win 132 to 127. Hero had 37, 24 from Quickly, but we do fall short. The Mavericks did have home court advantage for the first 2 games, and that means we're going to have home court advantage for the next 2 games, so hopefully we're able to come back and tie the series up. We do have home court advantage, and so far we do have the lead. We're up 113 to 98, 6 minutes remaining. They are kind of pushing back here in the 4th quarter, but we go on to win 131 to 117. Hero had 29, a 22-point double-double from Bam, and 19 from Vassell. Hopefully we're also able to win this next game to tap the series, and we will have home court advantage. We do have the lead as of right now. It looks like we will be tying up the series, winning this game 144 to 111. Hero had 28, 24 from Quickly, and 22 from Bam Adebayo. Now, I do hope we're also able to win this game to put us up 3-2. The Mavericks do have home court advantage, but we do have the lead as of right now, and it looks like we go on to lose by 1 single point. Hero had 30, 26 from Bam, but that truly does suck. And now our team is in a winner-go-home situation. We have to win this game to push it to a game 7. We will have home court advantage on our side, and we do start off the first quarter pretty strong. We are pushing back here. We have the lead by about 14 points, 8 minutes remaining. Can we keep the lead is a question, and yes, we can. They almost came back in the 4th quarter, but thankfully we go on to win 136 to 129. Hero had 31, 23 from Risache, and 18 from Ware. For the 3rd time in a row, we are in a Game 7 series. First the Celtics, then the Raptors, and now in the NBA Finals to the Dallas Mavericks. Let's jump into Simcast and see if we could win this game, and so far we do have the lead. We start off the first quarter really strong, but they are kind of pushing back. Never mind, we go on to win 146 to 115, outscoring them by 31 points. Hero had himself 32, 22 from Vassell, 21 from Quickly, and 20 from Bam Adebayo. And that is what I'm talking about. We have won the Miami Heat a championship with Tyler Hero winning Finals MVP, averaging 30 points per game, 7 assists on 50, 40, 89 shooting splits. Of course, before I end out this video, let's go ahead and take a look at the player stats for the playoffs. So we played a total of 26 games here in the playoffs, and the leading scorer was Tyler Hero, averaging 30 points per game. 20 from Bam, 16 from Quickly, and 15 from Risache. In the NBA Finals, we played a total of 7 games. In those 7 games, Hero was the leading scorer once again, averaging 30 points per game. 20 from Quickly, 19 from Bam, and 17 from Vassell. And now that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button and also subscribe if you're new for more NBA 2K26 rebuilds. Click here on the screen to watch my latest upload. And until next time, it's your boy Dragon, and I'm out. Peace.